Welcome to this presentation on the two biggest mistakes students make in essay examinations and how to easily eliminate them. And they also make the same mistake on the exercises, and they also make the same mistakes in the real world. And that's where it really hurts. The two major mistakes are, first one, not answering questions or parts of questions that were asked. If they do that, they can't get a grade. So they don't get any points for it. Instructors can only grade what was submitted. Answering questions or parts of questions that were not asked. If you do that, if they do that, there are no points for that information and it's a waste of time, student and instructor. And what's worse is the examiner can miss the answer while sieving through the garbage that the student has written instead of writing the answer to the real question. There are times when I've had to tell the students, boy, that's a great answer, but it wasn't an answer to the question that was asked. And so, no points. What a waste of time. So how does this happen? Well, here's an example. The question asked you to create a concept of operations, a CONOP for a system. Okay, fine. Do not describe what a CONOPS is. It's a waste of your time and the examiner's. You have to know what it is in order to create one. Create the CONOPS and document it. Use a template if one is available. And if you do use a template, state which one you used and the reason for using it as part of the introduction. I have many times in teaching classes in systems engineering, question is create the CONOPS, the student describes a CONOPS, and then the student complains they didn't get any points for the question. Well, they didn't get any points because they didn't create one for a specific system. They just described what a CONOPS was. It wasn't the answer to the question. So, 3 tools to eliminate the mistakes. A thinking tool, STAL, stay calm, think, ask questions, listen, and listen. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that ratio. So you read the question. You try and understand it. If you don't understand it, ask. I tell students the only stupid question is the one you didn't ask. Ask questions and clarify this. Do this in the classroom and do it in real life when you're dealing with requirements. And create the compliance matrix. It's a very simple table, just like that. And the third tool is the answer template, which we'll come to in a moment. So a compliance matrix, as I showed in the previous slide, is a table, 2 columns. First one is parts of the question, shorthand, but at least enough information to know which part it was and which section of the document or presentation it's answered. You put the data in column 1 when you're reading the question. This is an exercise in requirements elicitation and elucidation. You fill in column 2 when you're creating the answer template, and you check it just before submitting the exam to make sure that the information in that section of the template is what was required, and if it wasn't, you fix it before you submit it. When I've introduced a compliance matrix to students in the middle of a semester, over and over again, the grades go up because the students stop making those mistakes. So I now introduce the template at the beginning of the semester, and the students get better grades. So what's an answer template? Well, as I said, you create the headings from the question. It makes it easy to see that the question was answered. It minimizes writing answers to questions that were not asked because there's no heading for it. It's a structured response. Use the same language as in the question. So if the question asks for benefits, answer using benefits. Do not change it to advantages or other synonym. They are different. A very strict instructor will not grade advantages when asked for benefits. And in general, when dealing with requirements, don't use synonyms because meaning changes. It's a logical flow of information and it's easy to grade, especially by teaching assistants looking for buzzwords. If I'm going through, personally, if I'm going through an exam and the information is that is wanted, is given, I go, yes, 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 check, and I skim. And so the student has a benefit. I might miss that something isn't there when I'm skimming through it quickly. On the other hand, if I've got to extract the information by reading through all the not required information, I'm going to penalize the student if something is missing. So it's in the student's advantage. So it's to the student's advantage to use this tool. So what is an example? What is an answer template? Let me give you an idea. Here is a question. It's an exam question. Describe the 3 major pitfalls in the engineering of stakeholder requirements. In addition to identifying what are the errors that are frequently made, explain what could cause them and propose suitable mitigation strategies. Show it with examples. It's also an exercise in extracting requirements from a poorly worded paragraph, but let's not go into that in this particular presentation. So let's figure out what is the question and what is the template. So notice I've highlighted 3 major pitfalls in the engineering requirements. And here's the template: pitfall 1, pitfall 2, pitfall 3. Identifying what are the errors that are made, the frequent errors. Explain what could cause them and propose mitigation strategies and examples. Now, in the same way as you had pitfall 1, pitfall 2, and pitfall 3, you could have error 1, error 2, error 3, and causes and mitigation strategies. And so these are, this is the compliance matrix. And if you are told how many points you get for each part of the answer, you need to put that in because that will give you the priority or how much effort to spend in each part of the question. So one possible answer template might be section 1, the 3 major pitfalls. First, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Section 2, the errors that are frequently made. You list some, A, B, C, D. Possible causes, A, B, C, D, and match these numbers to the 2. And propose suitable mitigation strategies. Again, list them, A, B, C, D. An alternative answer might be the errors that are frequently made, causes of the error, examples, and mitigation would be section 2, and then section 3 would be another error, and causes, examples, and so on. The format of the template doesn't really matter as long as it is consistent and logical. And so if you do something like that, it's real easy to see that the question has been answered. So, takeaways. The 2 major mistakes are not answering questions or parts of questions that were asked, or answering questions or parts of questions that were not asked. The tools to prevent the mistakes are STAL, the compliance matrix, and the answer template. Questions or comments? How much time to spend on an answer? Depends on how many points the question is worth. And you can see here that I filled in the answer template for you. Thank you for watching.